Maya Stevens was 45 years old when a 30-year-old man kissed her under Seoul's cherry blossoms and whispered, "I've been waiting for you." She should have walked away, should have laughed it off as a younger man's momentary fascination with an older woman, should have remembered she came to Seoul to escape romance, not find it. Instead, she kissed him back. John Tae-hyun was everything she wasn't supposed to want. 15 years younger, devastatingly beautiful, from a world of wealth and privilege she'd only written about in novels. When he looked at her, she didn't feel 45 and invisible. She felt alive. But 3 months into their secret affair, Maya discovered the truth. Tae-hyun hadn't met her by accident. He'd sought her out deliberately, because 7 years ago, her best-selling novel had exposed corruption that destroyed his family and killed his brother. He was supposed to ruin her. Instead, he fell in love with her. Now, with secrets unraveling, her supposedly finalized divorce revealing itself as a lie, and a pregnancy test showing 2 pink lines, Maya had to decide. Trust the younger man who'd lied about everything, or walk away from the most real thing she'd ever felt. 3 months earlier, Maya had arrived in Seoul exhausted, emotionally, physically, creatively. Her divorce from Marcus had been finalized, or so she thought, 6 months ago after 23 years of marriage that had slowly suffocated her. Her daughter in Chem was thriving in London. Her best-selling novel was 7 years old, and publishers were demanding another. Seoul felt like escape, anonymity, rebirth. She'd secured a visiting professorship at Seoul University, teaching contemporary African literature to Korean students hungry for new perspectives. The apartment the university provided was small but charming. Hongdae area, close to art and life. The gallery opening was a colleague's suggestion. You need to get out, experience Seoul's art scene. Professor Kim had insisted. It'll inspire your writing. The gallery was in Gangnam, sleek, modern, showcasing a young photographer's work, black and white portraits that captured raw human emotion with devastating clarity. Maya stood before a photograph of an elderly woman's hands, wrinkled, weathered, beautiful in their age. The caption read, 75, still becoming. Do you like it? The voice was deep, warm, curious. Maya turned, and her breath caught. He was young, obviously young, maybe early 30s at most. Tall, lean, with the kind of face that belonged in front of cameras, not behind them. Dark hair, slightly long, falling into intense eyes that studied her with unnerving focus. It's beautiful, Maya managed, the way you've captured dignity in aging. Most photographers try to hide age. You celebrate it. Because age is evidence of survival, of experience, of becoming. His smile was slight but genuine. I'm John Tae-hyun. This is my exhibition. Maya Stevens. I teach at Seoul University. The author? His interest sharpened. I read your novel, Shadows of Gold. It was devastating. True. Maya's stomach tightened. That novel, her exposé of international art smuggling wrapped in fiction, had won awards and made enemies. She rarely discussed it anymore. Thank you, she said carefully. You exposed corruption most people prefer to ignore. That takes courage. Something flickered in his eyes. Pain? Anger? It was gone before she could identify it. Are you working on something new? Trying to. The words aren't coming easily. Writer's block? Life block. Sometimes experience clutters creativity instead of fueling it. Then maybe you need new experiences, different inspiration. He gestured to the gallery. Would you let me show you Seoul? Through a photographer's lens. It might help. Every rational instinct screamed this was inappropriate. He was too young, too interested, too intense. She was here to work, to heal, to rediscover herself, not to entertain attention from a man who could be her son. But something in his eyes, genuine curiosity, not pity or condescension, made her hesitate. I'm significantly older than you, she said bluntly, probably 15 years. You should be showing Seoul to someone your own age. Age is just data. Connection is what matters. His smile turned slightly mischievous. Are you always this concerned about numbers, Professor Stevens? When the numbers matter, yes. They don't. Not to me. He pulled out his phone. Give me your number. Let me prove Seoul can inspire you. As friends. No expectations beyond good conversation and better coffee. Against every ounce of judgment, Maya gave him her number. She told herself it was networking, cultural exchange, innocent. She had no idea she'd just let in the man who would destroy and rebuild her entire world. That night, Maya video called her best friend Grace in Lagos. You gave a 30-year-old Korean photographer your number? Grace's eyes were wide on the screen. Maya Stevens, are you having a midlife crisis? It's not like that. He wants to show me the city for artistic inspiration. Girl, he wants to show you something, but it's not tourist attractions. Grace laughed. What does he look like? That's irrelevant. Gorgeous then. Oh, honey, you're in trouble. I'm 45, divorced, and not interested in complications. You're 45, divorced, and deserve some fun. When was the last time a man looked at you like you were interesting instead of invisible? The question hit hard. Marcus hadn't really seen her in years. She'd been wife, mother, support system, but not woman. Not desirable, not interesting. It doesn't matter. Nothing's going to happen. The age difference alone makes it exciting, Grace finished. Maya, I love you, but you've spent 23 years being sensible, appropriate, age-appropriate. Maybe Soul Maya gets to be a little reckless. I came here to write, not to. Her phone buzzed. Text from Taehyun. Tomorrow, 10 a.m., Bukchon Hanak Village. Bring your curiosity and comfortable shoes. No expectations, just beauty. Maya stared at the message, her heart doing something stupid and young and entirely inappropriate for a 45-year-old professor. You're smiling, Grace observed. That's the first real smile I've seen from you in months. Go. Explore Seoul with the hot photographer. What's the worst that could happen? Maya could think of a dozen worst-case scenarios. She just didn't know the actual worst case was already in motion. That Taehyun had been planning this meeting for months. That everything, the gallery, the conversation, the interest, was carefully calculated revenge. And that by the time she discovered the truth, she'd be in far too deep to escape unscathed. Would you risk everything for someone 15 years younger who makes you feel alive again? What would you do if age was just a number, but society said otherwise? Let me know in the comments. If you're already hooked and can't wait to see how this forbidden age gap romance unfolds, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment telling me what you think will happen next. Trust me, this story is about to get even more intense with twists you won't see coming. Now let's continue. Bukchon Hanak Village was a postcard. Traditional Korean houses against modern Seoul's backdrop. Beauty preserved in the chaos of progress. Taehyun waited at the entrance, camera around his neck, looking effortlessly gorgeous in casual clothes. When he saw Maya, his smile was genuine, or at least convincingly so. "You came," he said, as if he'd doubted. "I'm curious about Seoul. Nothing more." "Of course, just Seoul." His eyes sparkled with amusement. "Shall we?" They walked through narrow streets, Taehyun explaining architecture and history with passion that transcended tour guide platitudes. He photographed details, doorways, shadows, an old woman sweeping her entrance, and showed Maya how he saw the world. In moments, in light, in truth. "Photography is about seeing what others miss," he said, crouching to capture morning light through a window. "Most people look but don't see. You, though." He glanced at her. "You see. I can tell by how you observe. Writer's eyes. Photographer's flattery. Photographer's observation." He stood, suddenly closer than necessary. "You notice everything. The couple arguing quietly in the corner. The way light changes someone's face. The small lies people tell. That's why your novel worked. You see truth beneath performance." Maya's breath caught at the intensity of his gaze. "You've read my work carefully. I told you, it mattered to me. Art that exposes corruption, that risks something to tell truth. That's rare." Something dark flickered across his face. "Dangerous, even. Did you face consequences after publication?" "Some. Threats, lawsuits that went nowhere. People angry about being exposed." She studied him carefully. "Why does it matter to you so specifically?" "Because I believe art should mean something. Should cost something. Otherwise, it's just decoration." He changed the subject smoothly. "Coffee? I know a place nearby with the best brew in Seoul." The cafe was tiny, tucked away, frequented by locals. Taehyun ordered in rapid Korean, then turned to Maya with that disarming smile. "Tell me about your daughter. Nkem, right? You mentioned her at the gallery. 22, studying international law in London. Brilliant, independent, everything I hoped she'd be. Does she know you're in Seoul?" "Of course. We video call weekly." Maya sipped her coffee. He was right. It was exceptional. "She worries I'm lonely. Keeps suggesting I date." "Smart daughter. Are you?" "Dating?" "No. My divorce was finalized 6 months ago. I'm not interested in complications." "Divorce is hard. How long were you married?" 23 years. "To my college sweetheart. We grew apart, wanted different things. It was necessary, but painful." "And he's in New York now?" The specificity was odd. "How did you know?" "You mentioned it at the gallery. When you said you came to Seoul to escape." He said it smoothly, but Maya's writer instincts prickled. Had she mentioned Marcus's location? She couldn't remember. "Yes, New York. Running his investment firm, living his best life." She changed subjects deliberately. "What about you? Family? Relationships?" Taehyun's expression shuddered. "Complicated family. Traditional mother, deceased father, one younger brother." His jaw clenched briefly. "And yes, there's been relationships. Recently ended one, actually. She wanted marriage. I wanted freedom." "How recently? Does it matter?" "If we're going to be friends, honesty matters." 3 months ago, clean break. She's moved on." He leaned forward, his intensity focused entirely on Maya. "But here's my honesty. I'm 30 years old, and I've never met anyone who challenges me like you do. Who looks at my work and sees what I'm actually saying, who's lived enough to understand that beauty and pain are inseparable. Age gaps are just society's rules. Connection is real. Taehyun, I'm not asking for anything, just acknowledgement that this, he gestured between them, is rare, worth exploring, even if it's just friendship. Maya should have said no, should have recognized the intensity as red flag, the pursuit as inappropriate, the whole situation as dangerous. Instead, she heard herself say, just friendship, clear boundaries. Crystal clear, he agreed. But his smile promised boundaries were made to be tested. Over the next month, they fell into a pattern, meetings framed as cultural exchange, conversations that went too deep, touches that lasted too long. Taehyun showed Maya Soul's hidden corners. She showed him literature's power to reshape perspectives. They talked about art, pain, survival, dreams. He photographed her once, natural, unguarded, and the resulting image stole her breath. She looked beautiful, not despite her age, but because of it. This is how I see you, he said quietly. Powerful, real, stunning. I'm 45, and I'm 30. So what? Maya, when I'm with you, I don't think about numbers. I think about how you make me want to be better, how your mind works, how you've survived things that would break most people and emerged stronger. He touched her face gently. Age doesn't define you. Experience does. And your experience made you extraordinary. The kiss happened at a gallery opening for another artist. Champagne and dim lighting and Taehyun pulling Maya into a quiet corner, his eyes asking permission she shouldn't give. This is a mistake, she whispered. Probably. Do you want me to stop? She should have said yes. Instead, she kissed him. It was electric, desperate and tender, the kind of kiss that rewrote rules and ignored consequences. When they broke apart, both breathless, Taehyun's control had cracked. I'm not playing games, he said roughly. I want you, completely. I don't care about age or society or any of it, just you. People will judge. Let them. I stopped caring about other people's opinions when I chose art over my family's business empire. His thumb traced her jaw. But I need to know. Do you want this? Really? Maya looked at him, this impossible, intense, too young man, and made a choice that would change everything. Yes, God help me, yes. They became lovers that night in his penthouse apartment filled with photographs and art. He was reverent, passionate, treating her body like something precious rather than something aging. And for the first time in decades, Maya felt desired, not as wife, mother, or professor, but as woman. You're beautiful, Taehyun murmured against her skin. So damn beautiful. I have stretch marks, wrinkles. You have evidence of life lived. That's not flaw, that's truth. He kissed every insecurity, every doubt, every place she felt inadequate. I see you, Maya, all of you, and you're perfect. She believed him. That was her first mistake. 2 months in, complications emerged. Taehyun's ex-girlfriend Soo-jin appeared at the university, beautiful and 28, seeking Maya out with thinly veiled hostility. Professor Stevens, I'm Soo-jin, Taehyun's friend. He mentioned you, Maya said carefully. Did he mention we dated for 3 years? That I thought we'd marry? That he ended things suddenly without real explanation? Soo-jin's smile was sharp. Then you appeared. Older, foreign, convenient distraction from commitment. Our relationship is none of your concern. It is when you're a midlife crisis preventing him from his real future. You're 45, Professor. He's 30. This ends badly. For you. He'll wake up, realize he wants a real partner who can give him children, a future, not a temporary escape. The words hit every insecurity Maya had buried. After Sujin left, Maya stared at her reflection. The fine lines, the silver threading through her hair, the body that had birthed a child and survived decades. Was she delusional, selfish, robbing Taehyun of his future? That night, she tried to end it. We should stop this. You deserve someone your own age, someone who can give you... Taehyun cut her off with a kiss that left no room for doubt. Sujin got to you. I knew she would. He cupped Maya's face. Listen to me. I don't want someone my age. I want you. Your mind, your body, your soul. I don't want children. I want you. I don't want conventional future. I want whatever we build together. Stop letting society tell you what you deserve. But what if nothing? I'm choosing you. Question is, are you brave enough to choose me back? Maya kissed him, and the doubts quieted. Temporarily. Because she didn't know that Taehyun's passionate declarations hid a darker truth. That his pursuit had always been calculated. That love was the complication he hadn't planned for. And that soon everything would unravel in ways neither could control. 3 months into their relationship, Maya received a letter. Not an email, an actual physical letter, slipped under her apartment door. No return address, just her name in neat handwriting. Inside a single sentence, ask Taehyun about his brother Jihoon. Ask him why he really found you. Maya's hands shook as she read it again. Jihoon. Taehyun had mentioned a brother once. Deceased father, one younger brother. Not dead, younger. But the phrasing, why he really found you, implied intention, calculation. She called Taehyun immediately. We need to talk. Now. He arrived within the hour. Concern etched on his face. What's wrong? She handed him the letter, watched his expression shift. Surprise, then something darker, guilt. Who sent this? He asked quietly. You tell me. Who's Jihoon? And what does why you really found me mean? Taehyun was silent for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice was careful, controlled. Jihoon was my older brother. He died 7 years ago. How? Suicide, after a scandal destroyed his career and our family's reputation. Maya's stomach dropped. 7 years ago. Her novel had published 7 years ago. What scandal? She whispered, though she already knew. Art smuggling. He worked for a gallery involved in illegal trade. Antiquities, stolen pieces, forged documents. When it was exposed, he lost everything. His career, his reputation, his will to live. He killed himself 6 months after the gallery collapsed. And my novel exposed that gallery, among others. Your research was thorough, devastating, true. Taehyun's eyes met hers, and she saw it. The pain, the anger, the complicated truth. My brother died because of what you uncovered. The room spun. Maya sank into a chair, her mind racing through implications. You knew, when you approached me at the gallery, you knew who I was. Yes? You planned it. Meeting me, pursuing me, all of it. Initially? Yes. His voice was raw with honesty that felt like knives. I wanted revenge. I blamed you for Jihoon's death. I thought if I could get close to you, learn your weaknesses, I could destroy your career like you destroyed his. Write exposés about your research methods, discredit your work, ruin you professionally. Oh my God. Maya felt sick. Everything was a lie. No, that's not. Taehyun moved toward her, but she flinched away. Maya, it started as revenge, but it didn't stay that way. The moment I actually talked to you, learned who you really were, brilliant, kind, honest, I couldn't do it. I fell for you. Really. This became real. When? When did it become real for you? That first day at Bukchon, when you looked at my photographs and understood what I was trying to say. When you trusted me despite every reason not to. I realized. His voice broke. I realized you weren't the villain I'd built in my head. You were just a writer telling truth. And Jihoon's death wasn't your fault. It was his choices, his involvement in crime, his inability to face consequences. But you kept lying. For 3 months, you let me believe I was going to tell you. I swear, I was waiting for the right moment. There is no right moment for, by the way, I initially wanted to destroy you. Maya's anger erupted. You used me. You slept with me under false pretenses. Everything we shared was built on lies. The foundation was lies. What we built wasn't. Maya, I love you. Don't you dare say that now. Tears streamed down her face. Get out. Get out of my apartment. Maya, please, get out. He left. The door closed, and Maya collapsed, sobbing, her heart shattered by a man 15 years younger who'd proven every doubt, every insecurity, every warning right. She was a fool, a desperate, aging fool who'd believed a beautiful lie. The next morning, another letter appeared. Now you know part of the truth. Want to know the rest? Your divorce isn't finalized. Marcus never signed the papers. You're still married, and he's in Seoul, working with the John family. Taehyun knew that too. Maya's world imploded. She called her lawyer in New York immediately. After frantic checking, the confirmation came. The divorce papers had been filed, but Marcus had exploited a legal technicality. She was technically still married. How is this possible? Maya demanded. He used an international law loophole. Since he's now working overseas and you're overseas, the jurisdiction became complicated. He'd have to appear to finalize, or you'd need new paperwork. Mrs. Stevens, did you know your husband was in Seoul? Ex-husband. And no, I thought he was in New York. He relocated 3 months ago, works for John Holdings. The name hit like a sledgehammer. John. Taehyun's family company. This wasn't coincidence. This was conspiracy. Maya hung up and immediately called Taehyun. He answered on the first ring. Maya, thank God. Did you know my ex-husband works for your family company? Silence. Damning silence. Did you know? She repeated, her voice deadly quiet. I found out a month ago. I was trying to figure out how to tell you. A month? You've known for a month that my divorce isn't finalized, and my ex-husband is in Seoul working for your family, and you said nothing. It's complicated. It's betrayal. Again. Her voice rose. What else haven't you told me? What other lies are you hiding? Maya, please, let me explain everything. I'm done with explanations, done with lies, done with you. She ended the call. Then she called Marcus. His number was still in her phone, dormant for months. He answered cheerfully. Maya, finally, I was wondering when you'd figure it out. What game are you playing? She demanded. No game, just protecting my interests. Our divorce would cost me millions. This way, we stay married, my assets stay protected, and you, his laugh was cruel. You get to stay faithful to vows you thought were broken. How's Seoul treating you? How's the young photographer? You're watching me? The Jeon family keeps close tabs on anyone connected to them, especially someone who destroyed their reputation. Did you really think young Tae-hyun pursued you out of genuine interest? Please, you were always the target, sweetheart. I'm just surprised he went the seduction route. More creative than I'd have given him credit for. Maya felt her world crumbling. Why are you doing this? Because you humiliated me with your book, your success, your ability to move on. Turnabout's fair play. He paused. But here's the thing. I actually miss you. Maybe this Seoul situation could work in our favor. Come back to me. Drop this ridiculous boy toy situation, and I'll finalize the divorce on reasonable terms. I'd rather die. Dramatic. Very you. Well, offer stands. Meanwhile, enjoy being technically an adulteress. I hear that plays well in conservative Seoul society. He hung up. Maya sat in her apartment, alone, and realized with horrifying clarity she'd been a pawn in multiple games. Taehyun's revenge plot, Marcus's financial manipulation, the Jeon family's reputation management. Everyone had used her, and the worst part, she'd genuinely loved Taehyun, despite everything, despite the lies, despite the impossibility, she'd loved him. That made her the biggest fool of all. Maya threw herself into work, ignoring Taehyun's constant calls and texts. For 3 days, she lectured, graded papers, and avoided anything that reminded her of him. Then Professor Kim appeared at her office, concerned. Maya, there's something you should know. Marcus Stevens contacted the university. He's claiming you're still married to him and that your visiting professorship was obtained under false pretenses, misrepresenting yourself as divorced. Maya's blood ran cold. That's insane. I filed for divorce in good faith. I believe you, but he's threatening legal action against the university unless we terminate your position. Says you've been conducting an inappropriate relationship with a student. Taehyun isn't my student. No, but optics matter. 45-year-old professor, 30-year-old Korean man, technically still married status, scandal involving both families. Professor Kim's expression was sympathetic. The dean is nervous. You might need to take leave until this resolves. So I'm being punished for my ex-husband's manipulation? You're being protected from a PR nightmare. I'm sorry, Maya. I really am. After Professor Kim left, Maya sat in her office, trying not to scream. Everything was unraveling. Her job, her reputation, her sense of self. Her phone buzzed. Grace, video calling. Tell me you've seen, Grace said immediately. Seen what? Grace's face was grim. And Kem posted on Instagram she's engaged to a Korean guy named John Minseok. The world stopped. What? Grace turned her phone, showing Nkem's Instagram post, a radiant photo of Maya's daughter with a handsome young Korean man, diamond ring prominent, caption reading, he asked, I said yes, can't wait to introduce you all to my fiancé and his amazing family. John, Maya whispered. That's Taehyun's family. I know. I looked him up. Minseok is Taehyun's cousin. Maya, did you know about this? No. God, no. And Kem never mentioned dating anyone seriously, let alone... Her mind raced. When did this happen? Post is from an hour ago. Comments say they've been together a year, kept it quiet because of family complications. A year. And Kem had been with Taehyun's cousin for a year and never told her. How was that possible? Maya called her daughter immediately. Nkem answered, still glowing. Mom, did you see? I'm so excited. You're engaged to John Min-sok? Taehyun's cousin? Nkem's joy dimmed. How do you know Taehyun? How do you know him? He's Min-seok's cousin. We've met a few times. Mom, why do you sound upset? I thought you'd be happy. When were you going to tell me you were seriously dating someone? Engaged, Nkem. I wanted to tell you in person. I was planning to come to Seoul next month. Introduce you properly. Nkem paused. Wait, why do you know Taehyun well enough to react like this? Maya's heart sank. She couldn't tell her daughter the truth, that she'd been sleeping with a man only 8 years older than Nkem, a man related to Nkem's fiancé. The humiliation, the judgment. I met him through university connections, Maya said weakly. We've worked together on some cultural projects. Oh, well, he's mentioned you too. Said you were brilliant but complicated. Nkem's tone shifted. Mom, are you okay? You sound strange. I'm fine, just surprised. Engaged is big news. I know, but Min-seok is perfect, Mom. His family is traditional, but welcoming. Well, mostly. His mother has concerns about me being foreign and young, but she's coming around. Nkem's excitement bubbled back. I can't wait for you to meet them all properly. We're planning the wedding for next year, blend of Korean and Nigerian traditions. Nkem, there's something you need to know. Your father is in Seoul. Silence. Then, what? He's working here. For John Holdings, actually. And the divorce. It's not finalized. Legal complications. He's been manipulating the process. That bastard. Nkem's voice hardened. Is that why he suddenly wanted to reconnect last month? He asked about you, where you were, what you were doing. I thought he was finally showing interest in my life, but he was gathering information. He's trying to control me, threatening my job, my reputation, because of Taehyun. It wasn't a question. Nkem had always been sharp. Mom, what really happened between you and Taehyun? It's complicated. You slept with him. Nkem's tone was flat. Oh my God, you had an affair with my fiancé's cousin. It's not... We didn't... Maya couldn't find words. How old is he? 30? Mom, what were you thinking? I was thinking I was alone and lonely, and he made me feel alive. Maya's composure cracked. I didn't know about you and Min-seok. I didn't know about the family connections. I didn't know any of it. But you knew he was 15 years younger. You knew it was inappropriate. Don't lecture me about appropriate. I spent 23 years being appropriate, being the perfect wife, perfect mother, perfect everything. And where did it get me? Divorced, alone, invisible? Tears streamed down Maya's face. Taehyun saw me, actually saw me, not just as your mother or Marcus's ex-wife, but as me. And yes, it was stupid and reckless and wrong, but it felt right. Nkem was quiet for a long moment. When she spoke, her voice was softer. Mom, I'm not judging your choices. I'm worried about you. This situation, Dad's manipulation, the Jean family, Taehyun's history with your book, it's a mess. You need to protect yourself. I know. I'm trying. Does Min-seok know? I don't think so. Taehyun and I kept it very private. Keep it that way. For both our sakes. Nkem sighed. I love Min-seok. I want to marry him. But if his family finds out about you and Taehyun, they'll see it as scandal. They already barely tolerate me being Nigerian and young. This would end everything. I won't say anything, Maya promised. I'm sorry, Nkem, for all of it. Just be careful, Mom. The Jeon family, they're powerful. And from what Min Seok says, they protect their reputation viciously. After hanging up, Maya felt the walls closing in. Her daughter was marrying into the family of the man who'd lied to her. Her ex-husband was weaponizing their failed marriage. Her job was in jeopardy, and Taehyun, a knock at her door. She opened it to find him standing there, looking wrecked. "I know you don't want to see me," Taehyun said, "but you need to hear everything, the full truth. Then you can decide if you want me gone forever." Maya should have slammed the door. Instead, she stepped aside, letting him enter. Time for answers, all of them. Taehyun sat on Maya's couch, looking more vulnerable than she'd ever seen him. No photographer's confidence, no artistic intensity, just a man carrying the weight of his mistakes. "Where do you want me to start?" he asked. "The beginning. Real beginning." He took a breath. 7 years ago, my brother Jihoon was 28, rising star in Seoul's art world. He got recruited by a gallery that seemed legitimate, but was actually a front for smuggling. By the time he realized, he was in too deep. They had documentation of his involvement, threatened him if he tried to leave. My novel exposed that gallery. Yes, among 5 others. Your research was meticulous, traced stolen pieces, forged documents, money laundering. When everything went public, prosecutions started. Jihoon panicked. Instead of cooperating with authorities, he ran. Then the shame consumed him. Our family is old money, traditional. Reputation is everything. He couldn't face the disgrace. 6 months later, he killed himself. Maya's throat tightened. "I'm sorry, truly. But Taehyun, he made choices. I know. Rationally, I know. But grief isn't rational. My mother blamed your book. My father, before he died, blamed me for not protecting Jihoon. I blamed everyone." His eyes met hers, "Including you. I spent years angry at the author who'd destroyed my family. Then you came to Seoul. You tracked me. Yes, I knew about your visiting professorship. I engineered our meeting at the gallery. Everything was calculated. The conversation, the interest, the pursuit. I wanted to get close to you, find your weaknesses, destroy your career like your book destroyed Jihoon's." "And Marcus, when did you learn about him?" "A month in. My family has extensive connections. When they ran a background check on you, because my mother noticed I was spending time with an older foreign woman, they discovered Marcus was working for our holding company, that he'd manipulated your divorce. Why didn't you tell me immediately?" "Because I realized how it would look, like I'd orchestrated that too. I was trying to figure out how to explain without you thinking I was behind it. But I wasn't, Maya. I swear. Marcus's employment with my family was coincidence. Bad timing. Nothing about this feels coincidental." "I know, but it's true." He leaned forward. "Here's what else is true. I fell in love with you. Really, actually, completely. That first day at Bokchon, when you looked at my photographs and understood what I was trying to say, the revenge plot fell apart. Every day after, I fell harder. The age difference didn't matter. The initial lies didn't matter. Just you. Your brilliant mind, your strength, your honesty. Ironic, given my dishonesty, all of it. How am I supposed to believe anything you say? You're not. I've destroyed your trust. But Maya, I need you to know, when we made love, when I told you you were beautiful, When I said I wanted a future with you, none of that was performance. That was real. You were real. Maya felt tears threatening. And Kem is engaged to your cousin. I know. Minseok told me last week. He has no idea about us. Thinks I just met you professionally. If he knew... Taehyun ran a hand through his hair. My family would lose their minds. It would end his engagement, destroy your relationship with your daughter, create scandal neither of us could survive. So what are you suggesting? We just pretend this never happened? I'm suggesting we figure out what you want. If you want me gone, completely, permanently gone, I'll disappear from your life. I'll transfer my gallery operations, avoid any events where we might cross paths. I'll let you and Inkem build a relationship with my family without my interference. And if I don't want you gone? His eyes blazed with sudden hope. Then we fight. For us. We figure out how to navigate this impossible situation. We deal with Marcus together. We manage the family complications. We prove that age gaps and messy histories don't determine who we love. Your family will never accept me. My mother barely accepts anyone. But she doesn't control my life. He moved closer. Maya, I know I've given you every reason to hate me, but I love you. I will spend the rest of my life proving it if you give me the chance. I'm technically still married. Then we fix it. I have lawyers who can handle Marcus's manipulation. We finalize your divorce properly, remove his leverage. I could be pregnant. The words hung in the air. Taehyun went absolutely still. What? Maya pulled out the pregnancy test she'd taken that morning. 2 clear pink lines. I'm 45. I thought I was past fertility. But apparently, perimenopause doesn't mean impossible. I'm pregnant, Taehyun, with your child, at 45 years old. He stared at the test, emotions warring across his face. Shock, joy, fear, wonder. You're pregnant, he repeated slowly. Yes, which makes everything infinitely more complicated. Your family will see it as scandal. My daughter will be horrified. Society will judge. Older woman trapping younger man with pregnancy. And her voice broke. I don't know if I can do this. Raise a baby at 45, deal with the whispers, navigate your family's judgment. Taehyun pulled her into his arms, holding her as she sobbed. Listen to me. We're having a baby. Our baby. That's not complication. That's miracle. Yes, your pregnancy is high risk at your age. Yes, my family will freak out. Yes, society will judge. But Maya, we created life. Together. That's bigger than revenge plots, and age gaps, and family drama. You don't have to. I want to. God, Maya, I want this. You, the baby, all of it. I know I've destroyed your trust, but let me rebuild it. Let me prove I'm not the boy who planned revenge. I'm the man who loves you enough to fight for our future. She pulled back to look at him. This is insane. We barely know each other. We know enough, and we have 7 months to learn the rest. His hand moved to her still flat stomach. Our baby. I can't believe it. High-risk pregnancy. Possible complications. Doctor's appointments constantly. I'll be at every single one. I'll research everything. I'll drive you crazy with overprotectiveness. His smile was genuine, full of wonder. We're having a baby. Despite everything, the lies, the complications, the impossible circumstances, Maya felt hope bloom. Maybe they could do this. Maybe love was enough. Then her phone rang. Mrs. John. Taehyun's mother. Don't answer, Taehyun said immediately. I have to. She's going to be in Kem's mother-in-law. Maya answered. Mrs. John's voice was ice. Professor Stevens, we need to meet. Tomorrow, my residence. There are matters to discuss regarding your relationship with my son and its impact on this family. Do not bring Taehyun. This conversation is between us. The line went dead. She knows, Maya whispered, about us. Then we face her, together. She said to come alone. I don't care what she said. You're not walking into that alone. His jaw set stubbornly. We're in this together now. Everything. No more secrets, no more lies, no more facing things alone. Together. Maya looked at him, this complicated, beautiful, impossible man, and made her choice. Together, she agreed, and prayed they'd survive what was coming. Mrs. Wow, John's residence was in Gangnam, a traditional hanok that screamed old money and older values. Maya stood at the entrance the next morning with Taehyun beside her, despite his mother's instructions. A housekeeper led them to a formal sitting room where Mrs. Jeon waited, elegant and cold, in traditional hanbok. Beside her sat Marcus, looking entirely too pleased with himself. What is he doing here? Maya demanded. Providing context, Mrs. John said calmly. Sit, both of you. They sat. Taehyun's hand found Maya's, squeezing support. I told you to come alone, Professor Stevens. And I told her we face things together now, Taehyun said firmly. Mother, whatever you have to say it to both of us. Mrs. John's expression hardened. Very well. Mr. Stevens has informed me of your relationship with my son. An affair conducted while you were technically still married with a man 15 years your junior, all while misrepresenting yourself to the university. That's a twisted version of truth, Maya started. Is it false? Are you not still married? Mrs. Jeon's gaze was sharp. Did you not engage in a relationship with my son while your marital status was legally ambiguous? The divorce was supposed to be finalized, but wasn't. Intent doesn't change legal reality. She turned to Taehyun. And you. I raised you better than this. To engage in scandal with a woman old enough to be approaching menopause, who wrote the book that destroyed our family. Jihoon destroyed himself, Taehyun cut in, his voice hard. Maya's book exposed truth. He chose crime. He chose to run instead of facing consequences. Stop rewriting history to protect your image. Mrs. John's face went white with fury. How dare you? How dare you blame an innocent woman for our family's failures? Taehyun stood, pulling Maya up with him. I love her. She's brilliant, kind, honest. Everything Jihoon pretended to be. And yes, there's an age gap. Yes, the circumstances are complicated. But I'm choosing her. Over your approval, over family reputation, over everything. Then you're choosing to lose your inheritance, your trust fund, your place in this family. Mrs. Jeon's voice was ice. I will not allow scandal, not after what we've already endured. There's more, Marcus interjected smoothly. Should we tell them about the pregnancy, or let them pretend that's still secret? Maya's blood froze. How do you threw away a pregnancy test in your university office trash, a colleague of mine noticed. Marcus's smile was cruel. 45 and pregnant by a 30-year-old? That's not just scandal, Maya. That's ammunition. Mrs. John's shock was visible. You're pregnant? With my son's child? Yes, Taehyun said firmly. And before you start calculating damage control, understand this. I'm thrilled. We're having a baby. That baby will be part of this family, whether you like it or not. A baby born to scandal, raised in controversy, constant reminder of your poor judgment. Mrs. Jeon stood, her control cracking. This ends now. You will end this relationship. Professor Stevens will return to America, and we will handle the pregnancy quietly. Adoption, perhaps. Financial settlement. But no public acknowledgement. You want us to give up our baby? Maya's voice rose in horror. I want to protect this family from further destruction. Mrs. John's composure shattered. Do you know what Jahoon's death did to us? The shame, the whispers, the business losses. We rebuilt through reputation management and strategic silence. I will not let you destroy that again. This isn't about you, Taehyun roared. This is about Maya and me and our child. Your feelings don't determine our choices. Your trust fund does. Your gallery funding does. Your apartment, your car, your lifestyle, all mine to remove. Mrs. Jeon's threat was clear. Choose her, lose everything. Then I lose everything. Taehyun's voice was steady. I'll sell the gallery if necessary, get a regular job, build from nothing. But I won't abandon Maya or our baby for money. How noble, how stupid. Mrs. Jeon turned to Maya. And you? Are you comfortable destroying a 30-year-old's future? Taking him from wealth to poverty, all because you couldn't accept that you're too old for him? The words hit like physical blows. Every insecurity, every doubt, every fear Maya had buried came roaring back. She's right, Maya whispered. Taehyun, your mother is right. I'm ruining your life. No, yes. Look at what I've cost you already. Family relationships, inheritance, reputation. Add a baby, and you'll resent me eventually. Resent being trapped by an older woman's pregnancy. Stop it. Taehyun grabbed her shoulders. I'm not trapped. I'm choosing this. Choosing you. Choosing us. You're 30 years old. You should be free, building your career, living your life. I'm living my life with you. His eyes were desperate. Maya, don't let them win. Don't let my mother's manipulation and your ex-husband's cruelty make you doubt us. It's not just them. It's reality. Tears streamed down her face. I'm 45, pregnant with complications likely, ending your financial security, destroying your family relationships. How is that love? That's selfishness. That's sacrifice. Taehyun's voice broke. Real love requires sacrifice. I'm willing to sacrifice wealth for you. Why won't you sacrifice fear for us? Because I'm supposed to be the mature one, the one who knows better. Maya pulled away from him. This was doomed from the start. Age gap relationships don't work. Not in real life, not with these complications. So you're giving up? Just like that? I'm being realistic. Your mother is offering you a way out. Take it. Move on with your life. Find someone age-appropriate who can give you everything I can't. I don't want someone else. I want you. Taehyun's control shattered completely. Damn it, Maya, I love you. Fight for us. I am fighting. I'm fighting to give you the future you deserve, without me dragging you down. You're not dragging me. You're leaving me. His voice cracked. After everything, after all the promises about facing things together, you're running. Because when it got hard, you chose fear over love. I'm choosing your future over my happiness. I'm choosing you. He was shouting now, tears streaming. Why isn't that enough? Why can't you believe that I actually want this life with you? The complications, the struggles, all of it. Maya looked at him, this beautiful, passionate, impossible man, and felt her heart break. Because I don't believe I'm worth it, she whispered. I look at you and see someone deserving everything. I look at me and see someone who's already lived her best years. You'll wake up one day and realize what you gave up for me, and you'll hate me. Never. I could never. You will. Maybe not today, maybe not this year, but eventually. She stepped back, putting physical distance between them. I'm ending this, for your sake. Don't do this. His voice was raw, pleading. Please, Maya, don't do this. I'm sorry. She turned to Mrs. John. I'll resign from the university, leave Seoul within the week. The pregnancy, I'll handle it on my own. Your family won't be implicated. And the baby, Mrs. Jeon asked, is mine, not yours. Not Taehyun's, if he doesn't want involvement. Mine. Maya's voice hardened. I may be old and inappropriate and everything else you think, but I'll be a good mother. This child will be loved, even if I'm doing it alone. Maya, you're not alone. Taehyun reached for her. Don't. She evaded his touch. Please, just let me go. She walked out, leaving behind the man she loved, the future she'd briefly believed possible, and the hope that age-gap love could survive reality. Behind her, she heard Taehyun's anguished cry, but she didn't turn back. Couldn't turn back. Because some loves, no matter how real, were impossible, and she was too old to believe in impossible things. Maya spent 3 days packing, crying, and avoiding Taehyun's endless calls and messages. Her resignation was accepted immediately. The university relieved to avoid scandal. Her apartment was already leased through month's end. She'd booked a flight to Lagos, planning to tell her mother about the pregnancy and figure out how to be a 45-year-old single mother. Grace called daily, alternating between sympathy and frustration. You love him, Grace said bluntly. So why are you running? Because love isn't enough, not with these complications. Love is the only thing that matters. Everything else is just noise. Easy to say when you're not the one destroying a 30-year-old's life. He's an adult making his own choices. You're infantilizing him. I'm protecting him. You're protecting yourself. From risk, from judgment, from believing you deserve happiness. Grace's voice softened. Maya, I've known you 20 years. You've spent your whole life being sensible, appropriate, self-sacrificing. Just once, choose yourself, choose love, choose possible. After hanging up, Maya sat in her half-packed apartment and cried. Then her phone buzzed. Inkem, video calling. Mom, we need to talk, now. Inkem's face was serious, and behind her stood Min Seok, handsome, concerned, surprisingly present for a conversation clearly about to get uncomfortable. Inkem, I'm busy. Taehyun told us everything. Maya's heart stopped. What? About you two. The relationship, the pregnancy, his mother's ultimatum. Everything. Inkem's expression was complex. Min Seok needed to know if we're going to be family. I'm so sorry. Maya started. Don't apologize. Min Seok spoke up, his English accented but clear. Taehyun is my cousin, my best friend. I've never seen him like this. Devastated, heartbroken. He loves you. Really loves you. But the age difference is just a number, and Kem cut in. Mom, I'm engaged to a man 6 years older than me. Who am I to judge you for falling for someone 15 years younger? Hypocritical much? That's different. How? Because you're older? Because society judges women more harshly? Nkem's eyes flashed. I was upset, initially, because you kept it secret, not because of the age gap. But seeing Taehyun now, seeing how destroyed he is, I realized something. He's not some boy you corrupted. He's a grown man who made choices, and those choices led to falling in love with you. His mother will never accept. His mother is afraid, Min-seok interjected, afraid of more scandal, more pain, more loss. But she doesn't control Taehyun's life, and she'll come around eventually, especially when she meets her grandchild. Maya's throat tightened. You know about the pregnancy. Taehyun told us. Congratulations. Nkem smiled softly. You're giving me a sibling. Weird circumstances, but I'm genuinely happy. And Mom, you'll be an amazing mother. Again, age doesn't change that. But the complications, the risks, are manageable, with proper care and support. Min-seok's expression turned serious. Mrs. Stevens, I'm going to be direct. Taehyun has never asked me for anything in 28 years of friendship. Yesterday, he asked me to convince you to stay. Said if you loved him even a fraction of how much he loves you, you'd fight for him the way he's fighting for you. I can't ask him to sacrifice. He's not sacrificing. He's choosing. There's a difference. Min-seok leaned forward. My aunt, Taehyun's mother, she's protective because she's afraid, but I've watched her soften over time. She accepted me and Nkem eventually. She'll accept you too, especially if you stop running and start fighting. What if I fail? What if I'm not enough? What if you succeed? Nkem challenged. What if this crazy, complicated age gap relationship actually works? What if you have a beautiful baby and build a life with a man who worships you? What if you get your happy ending? I'm too old for happy endings. That's the fear talking, not reality. Nkem's voice turned gentle. Mom, you taught me to be brave, to chase what I want despite obstacles. You encouraged me to study abroad, to date Min-seok, despite cultural differences, to build my own life. Now I'm telling you the same thing. Be brave, chase your happiness. Build your life with Taehyun. His mother will disown him, maybe temporarily, but that's his choice to make. Min-seok smiled. Besides, Taehyun has talent. Even without family money, his photography career is viable. He'll survive. The question is, will you let him survive with you or without you? After the call ended, Maya sat in silence, processing everything. Then she pulled out her laptop and booked a different flight. Not to Lagos, to her doctor, to marriage lawyers, to a future she'd been too afraid to fight for. Because maybe Nkem was right. Maybe 45 wasn't too old for happy endings. Maybe love was worth the risk. That evening, Maya went to Taehyun's apartment unannounced. He opened the door, looking wrecked, unshaven, exhausted, heartbroken. When he saw her, hope and fear warred on his face. Maya, I'm not leaving, Seoul, she said. I'm staying, fighting, choosing us, if you'll still have me. He pulled her inside, crushing her against him, his whole body shaking. God, yes, yes, I'll have you. Always. Forever. I'm terrified. Of the age gap, of your family, of failing you. Then we'll be terrified together, and we'll figure it out, day by day. He pulled back to look at her, cupping her face with reverent hands. I love you. That doesn't change because things are hard. It just makes fighting for you more important. I love you too. So much. She kissed him, tasting salt from both their tears. But Taehyun, we need help. Couples counseling, legal support, family mediation. This isn't just romance. It's rebuilding trust, managing complications, creating a foundation. Whatever it takes, I'm in. Completely. His hand moved to her stomach. We're having a baby. Our baby. That's worth everything. High-risk pregnancy, which we'll manage with the best doctors, constant monitoring, and me annoying you with overprotective hovering. His smile was watery, but genuine. We've got this, Maya. Together. Together, she agreed. And for the first time in days, she believed it. The war wasn't over. Mrs. John's acceptance wasn't guaranteed. Marcus's manipulation still needed resolving. Society would judge. Complications would arise. But they'd face it all together. And that made everything possible. The next 6 months were a war fought on multiple fronts. Front 1, the divorce. Tae-hyun hired the best family lawyers in Seoul, who systematically dismantled Marcus's legal manipulations. Turns out, exploiting international divorce laws while actively sabotaging proceedings was illegal. Marcus faced charges for fraud and contempt of court. Sign the papers, Tae-hyun told him at their one face-to-face meeting, or face prosecution and deportation. Your choice. Marcus signed. The divorce was finalized within weeks. One down, Tae-hyun said, holding Maya close. Several to go. Front 2, the family. Mrs. John remained icy, refusing to acknowledge the relationship or pregnancy. But cracks appeared when Min-seok and In-kem announced their own pregnancy. Conceived before marriage, forcing Mrs. John to confront her hypocrisy. I judged Tae-hyun and Maya harshly for their situation, In-kem said at a tense family dinner, her hand protectively on her small bump. But Min-seok and I aren't perfect either. We're just people trying to build a life together, like Tae-hyun and Maya. If you can accept us, you can accept them. Mrs. Jeon's silence was telling, but she didn't storm out. Progress. Front 3, the pregnancy. Maya's pregnancy was indeed high risk. Gestational diabetes, blood pressure concerns, constant monitoring. Every doctor's appointment was stress, every test a potential crisis. But Tae-hyun kept his promise, attended every appointment, researched obsessively, drove Maya crazy with care. I'm not fragile, she protested, after he insisted she rest for the 3rd time that day. No, you're carrying our child at 45. That's heroic and terrifying. Let me fuss. He kissed her forehead. Besides, I like taking care of you. At 5 months, they learned they were having a daughter. Tae-hyun cried, overwhelmed. A daughter. We're having a daughter. Are you disappointed? I know some men want sons. I'm thrilled. A daughter who'll have your strength and my creativity. She's going to be extraordinary. His hand rested on Maya's growing belly. Thank you. For her. For us. For being brave enough to stay. At 7 months, complications intensified. Preeclampsia concerns put Maya on bed rest. Tae-hyun moved his entire photography operation to their apartment, refusing to leave her side. You should go to your gallery opening, Maya said. This is your big international showcase. And miss being with you? Never. The gallery will survive without me for one night. You won't. I'm fine. You're on bed rest with dangerous blood pressure. I'm staying. He settled beside her with his laptop. Now, let's pick baby names. I'm thinking something that honors both cultures. They debated names for hours, Korean and Nigerian, traditional and modern, honoring both their heritages. Finally settled on Amara Jihye, Igbo for grace, Korean for wisdom. Perfect, Maya whispered, tears streaming. Our daughter, Amara. Front 4. Society. Seoul's whispers were relentless. The age gap couple, the inappropriate relationship, the older woman trapping the younger man. Comments online were vicious. Ignore them, Taehyun insisted. They don't know us. They don't know our love. But Maya struggled. Every judgmental look, every whispered comment, every online article dissecting their relationship, it wore on her. What if they're right? She asked one particularly hard day. What if I'm being selfish? Then we're both selfish. Because I'm not letting you go. He tilted her face up. Maya, look at me. I love you. Not despite your age, because of everything your age represents. Experience, wisdom, survival, strength. You're the most beautiful woman I've ever known, and I thank God every day that you chose me back. Even when it's hard? Especially when it's hard. Easy love isn't real love. This, fighting for each other, this is real. Month 8 brought the breakthrough with Mrs. Jeon. She appeared at their apartment unannounced, her expression carefully neutral. May I come in? Taehyun looked ready to refuse, but Maya nodded. Of course. They sat, awkward, tense. Mrs. Jeon studied Maya's very pregnant form, emotions flickering across her face. I owe you an apology, she said finally. I've been cruel, judgmental, unfair. Yes, you have, Taehyun said bluntly. Let me finish. Mrs. Jeon's voice carried pain. When Jihoon died, I blamed everyone. Your book, Maya, the gallery, society, even Jihoon himself. But mostly, I blamed me. For raising a son who couldn't face consequences, for valuing reputation over his well-being, for being too proud to see he needed help. Mrs. Jeon, Maya started. I watched Taehyun pull away after that, become cold, controlled, alone. I thought he'd never open up again, never love again. Then you appeared, and suddenly he was alive, vulnerable, happy. It terrified me because vulnerability led to Jihoon's destruction. I'm not Jihoon, Taehyun said quietly. No, you're stronger. You're willing to fight, to risk, to love, despite consequences. Mrs. Jeon's eyes filled with tears. I've spent months trying to protect you from pain. But I realize now I was causing it, pushing away the woman who makes you whole. Are you saying, I'm saying I was wrong, about Maya, about your relationship, about everything? She turned to Maya. You're strong, intelligent, capable. You've survived divorce, rebuilt your career, and now you're carrying my grandchild despite medical risks. That's not weakness. That's courage I should have recognized sooner. Maya's throat tightened. Thank you. I'm not asking forgiveness yet. I know I've done damage. But I'm asking for a chance to be part of my grandchild's life, to support you both instead of fighting you. Mrs. Jeon's voice cracked. I've already lost one son. I don't want to lose another because of my pride. Taehyun looked at Maya, silently asking her opinion. She squeezed his hand. Forgiveness, permission, hope. You can be part of our lives, Taehyun said, but with boundaries. No more ultimatums, no more judgment about Maya's age, no more conditional love. Agreed, Mrs. Jeon stood, moving to Maya. May I? She gestured to the baby bump. Maya nodded. Mrs. Jeon's hand rested on her stomach, and immediately Amara kicked. Strong, Mrs. Jeon murmured, wonder in her voice. Like her mother. Like both her parents, Maya corrected. Yes, like both. Mrs. Jeon straightened. I'll let you rest. But Maya, if you need anything, for the pregnancy or after, call me. Please, let me try to be family instead of enemy. After she left, Maya and Taehyun sat in stunned silence. Did that just happen? Maya asked. I think my mother just apologized, and meant it. Taehyun pulled Maya close. We did it. We survived the worst and came out together. Don't jinx it. I'm still pregnant with complications, which we'll handle, just like we've handled everything else, together. Week 38 brought emergency. Maya's blood pressure spiked dangerously. The doctors recommended immediate C-section, despite being 2 weeks early. She'll be okay? Taehyun asked, gripping Maya's hand as they prepped surgery. We're taking every precaution, the doctor assured. But Mr. John, your wife needs to stay calm. You need to stay calm. I'm terrified, Maya whispered. Me too. But we've got this. You've carried Amara this far. You're about to meet her. He kissed her forehead. I love you. So much. You're the strongest person I know. The surgery was smooth. Complications managed. And at 3:42 a.m., Amara Jiye John Stevens entered the world. Small but healthy, crying loudly, absolutely perfect. She's beautiful, Taehyun breathed, tears streaming as he held his daughter for the first time. Maya, she's so beautiful. She has your eyes, Maya said weakly, exhausted but overjoyed. And your fighting spirit. She's been kicking since conception. He brought Amara close to Maya. Meet your mama, little one, the woman who loved you enough to risk everything. As Maya held their daughter, marveling at tiny fingers and perfect features, the door opened. Mrs. Jeon entered, followed by Enkem and Minseok. We came as soon as we heard, Mrs. Jeon said, then stopped, seeing the baby. Oh, she's your granddaughter, Taehyun said. Amara Jihye. Want to hold her? Mrs. Jeon approached reverently, taking the baby with practiced grandmother hands. Amara settled immediately, and Mrs. Jeon's face transformed, all the ice melting into wonder and love. Hello, little one, she whispered in Korean. I'm your Halmione, and I promise, I'll be better for you than I was for your father. You'll know only love, no conditions, no judgments, just love. Nkem moved to Maya's bedside, squeezing her hand. You did it, Mom. You're amazing. We did it, Maya corrected, looking at Taehyun. Together. He leaned down, kissing her softly. Together. Always. As family surrounded them, biological and chosen, Korean and Nigerian, complicated and beautiful, Maya felt complete. The age gap didn't matter. The scandals had faded. The complications had been overcome. All that remained was love, and their perfect daughter. And a future that had seemed impossible, but was gloriously real. 1 year later, the gallery showcase was Taehyun's biggest yet, Love in All Its Forms, a photography series documenting unconventional families across Asia and Africa. The centerpiece? A massive portrait of Maya at 46, holding 1-year-old Amara, both laughing, joy radiating from the image. The caption read, 46 and becoming. Love doesn't count years. Maya stood before it, Amara on her hip, marveling at how far they'd come. You made us beautiful, she said, as Taehyun joined her. I captured what's already there. You two are my masterpiece. He kissed Amara's chubby cheek, making her giggle. Though someone's been more interested in eating the exhibits than viewing them. She's one. Everything goes in her mouth. Maya bounced their daughter. Ready for your speech. Almost. Waiting for, there they are. He pointed to the entrance, wherein Kem and Minseok entered with their own 6-month-old son, followed by Mrs. Jeon, Grace from Lagos, and Marcus's replacement at Jeon Holdings. The family had transformed. Mrs. Jeon now split time between both grandchildren, doting equally. Nkem and Minseok had married in a beautiful Korean-Nigerian fusion ceremony 3 months after Amara's birth. Marcus had been deported after the fraud charges stuck, his manipulation finally ending. "Before I give my formal speech," Taehyun said, addressing the gallery crowd, "I want to talk about this project's inspiration. 1 year ago, I became a father to this beautiful girl. He took Amara from Maya, holding her up. But more importantly, I became partner to this extraordinary woman." He gestured to Maya, who blushed as the crowd's attention focused on her. "Maya Stevens John is 46 years old. I'm 31. According to society, our relationship shouldn't work. The age gap is too large, the complications too many, the judgment too harsh. But here's what society gets wrong. Love isn't about matching demographics. It's about matching souls. Maya challenges me, supports me, makes me better. She survived a difficult pregnancy to give us Amara. She faced prejudice, family drama, and public scrutiny with grace and strength. She's brilliant, still teaching, writing her new novel, raising our daughter. She's beautiful, more so at 46 than most people ever achieve. And she's mine, my wife, my partner, my home." The crowd applauded. Maya's eyes filled with tears. This exhibition celebrates unconventional families because conventional is overrated. Age gap couples, blended families, intercultural marriages, all beautiful, all valid, all real. Love doesn't fit in neat boxes. It explodes boundaries and creates something new. He kissed Amara's head. "This little girl will grow up knowing that love is action, not demographic. That her mother's strength matters more than her age. That family is chosen as much as born." More applause. Mrs. John dabbed at her eyes, emotional in a way she'd rarely shown. After the speech, as the exhibit reception continued, Maya found a quiet corner with Grace, who'd flown in for the opening. "Look at you," Grace said, hugging her friend. "Happy, thriving, glowing. I never thought I'd have this. At 46, with a 1-year-old and a 31-year-old husband, it's surreal. It's beautiful. You chose brave, and look what you got." Grace smiled. "The new novel, how's it going?" "Good. Different from the last one. This one's about second chances, age gap love, choosing happiness over safety. Very autobiographical." "Will Taehyun's family sue?" "They're featured prominently and favorably. Mrs. Jeon actually offered to write the foreword about accepting unconventional love. Growth is possible." They watched Taehyun across the room, playing with Amara, making her laugh, looking utterly content. "He's a good father," Grace observed. "The best. Natural, involved, completely devoted. Age didn't determine his readiness. Heart did. And you? How's motherhood at 46? "Exhausting. Wonderful. Terrifying. Perfect." Maya smiled. "I'm tired constantly. My body doesn't bounce back like it did at 23, and I'm acutely aware I'll be 64 at her high school graduation. But I'm also more patient, more secure, more appreciative of every moment. Older motherhood has advantages." The judgment? Still there, but quieter. People see Taehyun and me together, actually happy, functional, stable, and their assumptions crumble. We're not a cautionary tale. We're just a family. That night, after Amara was asleep and the house was quiet, Maya and Taehyun sat on their balcony overlooking Seoul. Successful showcase, Maya said, leaning against him. Thanks to my muse. He kissed her temple. How are you feeling? Really? Happy, scared, grateful, all of it. She turned to face him. Do you ever regret it? Choosing me? The complications, the sacrifices? Never. Not once, not even close. His hands cupped her face. Maya, you gave me purpose beyond art. Family, love, real connection. I'd sacrifice everything again without hesitation. Even at 31, tied down with a wife and baby, when you could be free, I am free. Free from meaningless relationships, free from family pressure to conform, free to build the life I actually want. He kissed her softly. Stop looking for regret. That doesn't exist. I love you. Present tense, future tense, always tense. She laughed. Always tense? You know what I mean. Forever. Infinity. Whatever word means, until my last breath and beyond. That word is love. Then love. Always love. They sat in comfortable silence, watching Seoul's lights until Maya spoke again. I'm writing about us, the novel, our story, age gap, complications, choosing each other despite everything. Is that okay? Are you making me devastatingly handsome and incredibly talented? Naturally, also humble, perfect. Write our story. Let people see that unconventional love works, that age gaps don't determine compatibility, that 46 and 31 can build something beautiful. What if people judge? They already do. Might as well give them the full story. He smiled. Besides, I'm proud of us, of surviving the impossible and thriving anyway. Tell the world. Show them love doesn't have expiration dates. Maya's novel, 46 and Becoming, published 2 years later to critical acclaim. It told their story, lightly fictionalized, but emotionally true. The reviews praised its honesty about age gap relationships, the complications of blended families, and the courage required to choose love over safety. The dedication read, To Taehyun, who saw me when I felt invisible, loved me when I felt unlovable, and proved that age is just data. Connection is everything. And to Amara, who made me a mother again at 46 and reminded me that becoming never stops. We're all always becoming. At the book launch, Taehyun gave a toast to my wife, who turned our scandal into art, who proved that 46 is not an ending, it's a beginning. And to everyone here wondering if unconventional love is worth the risk, look at us, 3 years in, still happy, still growing, still proving the doubters wrong. It's worth it, always. The crowd applauded, and Kem stood with Minhyuk, now expecting their second child. Mrs. John held 3-year-old Amara, who called her Halmione and adored her completely. Grace beamed from the audience. Even Professor Kim attended, proud of his colleague's success. Maya looked at her family, biological, chosen, complicated, beautiful, and felt overwhelming gratitude. She was 48 years old, mother of 2 daughters, 16 years apart, wife to a man 17 years her junior, author of a best-selling novel about unconventional love, professor mentoring the next generation, woman who'd rebuilt her life from divorce into something extraordinary. Speech? Taehyun prompted, squeezing her hand. Maya took the microphone, looked at her family, and spoke from her heart. They said 46 was too old for new beginnings, too old for passion, too old for motherhood, too old for a man who could be my son. They were wrong about all of it. Age doesn't determine capacity for love. Experience does. Courage does. Choice does. I chose Taehyun despite society saying I shouldn't. He chose me despite easier options. We chose each other, and we built this, a family, a future, a love that doesn't fit demographic boxes but fits our hearts perfectly. She paused, emotional. To everyone struggling with unconventional love, age gaps, cultural differences, societal judgment, I see you. And I'm telling you, it's worth fighting for. The whispers will quiet, the judgment will fade. What remains is love, real, complicated, beautiful love, and that's worth everything. The crowd erupted in applause. Taehyun pulled her into a kiss that made Amara giggle and the audience cheer. Later, as they drove home, baby sleeping in her car seat, the Seoul skyline glittering around them, Maya reflected on the impossible journey. From 45 and invisible to 48 and thriving. From convinced her best years were behind her to building her best life in real time. From running from love to running toward it with everything she had. What are you thinking? Taehyun asked, his hand finding hers. That I'm grateful for you, for Amara, for all of it, even the hard parts, especially the hard parts, because they made this sweeter. No regrets? None, except maybe not believing in us sooner. We got here eventually. That's what matters. He kissed her hand. Ready to go home? With you? Always. They drove into Seoul's night, a family built on impossible love, age gap defiance, and choosing each other despite every reason not to. Maya Stevens John was 48 years old, married to a 33-year-old, mother to a toddler and an adult daughter, and living proof that life didn't end at 40. Sometimes it was just beginning, and the best was yet to come. The end. Thank you for watching this story to the end. If you enjoyed Maya and Taehyun's age gap love story that defied society and proved love has no expiration date, make sure you're subscribed. More emotional love stories are coming. Stories that challenge conventions, celebrate second chances, and prove that it's never too late for happiness. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss the next one. See you in the next story. Would you risk everything for love with someone 15 years younger? Could you face judgment to choose your happiness? Have you ever felt too old for new beginnings? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.